What if we told you that some of the NBA's biggest stars are gay? From John Amachi, who came out and said it outright.
I mean, I would look around the locker room and just be like, and I'm the gay one.
To Isaac Humphre, who confessed to his teammates.
I was very much struggling with my sexuality and coming to terms with the fact that I'm gay.
And Dwight Howard, who keeps avoiding the questions.
Are you gay, bro?
Is this what you want to talk about?
No, I don't want to talk about that, bro.
These are 8 NBA players who just happened to swing the other way. Let's start with the player who ended all the whispering by just coming clean. John Amachi. John Amachi shocked the basketball world in 2007 when he came out through his memoir, but honestly, people had been talking for years. Being the first former NBA player to openly admit he was gay was groundbreaking, but it also opened the floodgates for every other piece of NBA gay gossip that followed. What's wild is how Amachi described the NBA culture that everyone suspected but nobody talked about.
In the NBA, and as in all sports, homophobic language is du jour. It's part of the vernacular. You know, for all boys, all men who've played sport know that when you do something bad, you're a wuss or a fag or worse.
But here's where it gets really juicy. Amachi basically called out the entire NBA for being in denial about how homoerotic the sport actually is.
Sport, as I say in the book, sport has been gay since Homer. It is all about setting a context that allows a suspension of that understanding.
He even went further, describing the locker room intimacy that everyone pretends isn't happening.
The kind of contact that goes on in locker rooms, the kind of intimacy that happens between men, I'm not talking about sex, but the kind of intimacy, the closeness, it is akin to being in a relationship with another man. It's as gay as it gets.
The man was so uncomfortable with the hypocrisy that he had to call it out.
I mean, I would look around the locker room and just be like, and I'm the gay one.
What really gets people talking is how Amachi described teammates painting their toenails and being naked around each other while he, the actual gay player, felt like he needed to leave. The irony wasn't lost on him or anyone paying attention. Since his coming out, Amachi has been regarded as one of the world's most high-profile gay athletes and continues to work as a psychologist and consultant. The gossip forums are still talking about this man years later. Twitter users regularly bring up how he was the first, with posts saying John Amachi was the first openly gay NBA player. He came in 2007, not long after retiring from basketball. Meanwhile, Reddit threads reveal how some teammates were apparently cool with it, with comments like, I believe AK-47 even told John it was okay to bring his partner to his house party or something like that. The way he talked about sports being inherently homoerotic really set the tone for every gay NBA conversation that followed. People still quote his observations about locker room culture and how hypocritical the whole masculine sports world really is. Jason Collins. Then came Jason Collins, who absolutely broke the internet in 2013. This man really had the audacity to come out while still playing, becoming the first active player in Major League Sports to say he was gay. His Sports Illustrated essay had everyone shook because nobody saw it coming.
Yeah, it's I sort of describe it as you know that the sky is blue, but you keep telling yourself that it's red.
The way he described his internal struggle had people in their feelings.
But when you finally get to that point of acceptance, there's nothing more beautiful, and just allowing yourself to, really be happy and be comfortable in your own skin.
But here's the tea that really got people talking. Collins had been dropping hints for years through his jersey number.
Jersey 98 for Matthew Shepard.
Jersey 98 for Matthew Shepard. That's why I wore jersey 98.
The response was immediate and intense.
Just try to live an honest, genuine life, and next thing you know, you have the president calling you.
The announcement was met with widespread support, including from figures like Kobe Bryant and the Obamas, showing how much the culture had shifted since Amachi's revelation. Collins was strategic about his timing, knowing he was still trying to get picked up by teams, but he felt the moment was right. What's interesting is how Collins addressed the stereotypes head on.
That gay stereotype that, I think that people like me are trying to rewrite that stereotype and trying to let people know that you can't just put people in a box.
The man played physical, hard-nosed basketball, completely destroying what people expected from a gay player. He made it clear that being gay had nothing to do with how tough you were on the court. The gossip reached new levels in 2025 when Collins got married and social media went crazy. People were posting gay former NBA star Jason Collins marries longtime partner Brunson Green. The first out NBA player scored his biggest win off the court. Reddit was celebrating too, with the whole thread being a love fest for this pioneering player. The man went from being the first openly gay active NBA player to getting married, and the internet couldn't get enough of the milestone moment. Isaac Humphries. The international basketball scene got its own bombshell in 2022 when Isaac Humphries absolutely broke down while telling his teammates he was gay. This Australian player became the first openly gay player in the NBL, and the video of him coming out to his team had everyone crying. The backstory is heartbreaking. Humphries had attempted suicide due to his struggles with sexuality, and that dark moment pushed him to finally live his truth.
A few years ago, I fell into a very dark place, a very lonely place. I couldn't be who I am, and I attempted to take my life.
Then came the revelation that shook the room.
The main reason behind me becoming so low and being in that point is because I was very much struggling with my sexuality and coming to terms with the fact that I'm gay.
His motivation for going public was deeply personal.
There are so many people in other worlds that are struggling every single day and don't know how to get up, don't know how to exist. And I know how that feels, and I want to represent those people.
The team's response was everything you'd want to see in professional sports.
You know, we take great pride as a club to say that you felt this was a safe enough place and a club that you could come and, you know, go ahead and announce this and be yourself.
The emotional weight of that moment hit different than the previous coming out stories. This wasn't a retired player writing a book or an active player making a calculated announcement. This was raw, real-time vulnerability that you could see and feel. Social media exploded when the BBC reported on it, with posts saying Australian Isaac Humphries has become the first active male basketball player currently playing in a top-tier league to come out as gay. Reddit users were incredibly supportive, with comments like, "Beautiful video, though sucks that it's still this hard for professional athletes to come out. Hopefully we get there one day." But guys like Isaac Humphries are still having to be major trailblazers at the moment. Humphries also wrote a guest column for CNN, detailing his experience and explaining why he felt compelled to share his story. The man went from contemplating suicide to becoming a beacon of hope for LGBTQ+ athletes worldwide. People are still talking about how powerful that video was and how it changed the conversation around athletes and mental health. Dwight Howard. Now we get to the messy part. Dwight Howard is drowning in gay rumors, and every time someone brings it up, he gets defensive as hell. The rumors started heating up in 2018 and exploded in 2021 when allegations surfaced about relationships with men, including a sexual assault lawsuit where he admitted to consensual sex but denied assault. When interviewers try to get him to address the talk directly, Howard gets heated.
Are you gay, bro?
Is this what you want to talk about?
No, I don't want to talk about that, bro.
His response gets more aggressive when pressed.
And what I do in my personal life is nobody.
Thank you.
But here's where it gets complicated. Howard has made contradictory statements over the years, including denying being gay on Fox Sports in 2019, saying, "I'm not gay," but then admitting to consensual sexual activities with men during legal proceedings. The lawsuit details are messy, with Stephen Harper filing accusations of sexual assault, battery, false imprisonment, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Howard's defense was that whatever happened was consensual, but he's been inconsistent about addressing his sexuality directly. The internet has been relentless about this story. Howard admitted to consensual sex with men during the lawsuit, but denied the assault, stating on Instagram Live, "Whatever I'm doing in my bedroom is my damn business. That ain't for everybody, and everybody don't need to know. Y'all just weird." Social media is ruthless about the chatter. Twitter users are straight up claiming Dwight Howard is gay, while Reddit threads get extremely graphic with comments like, "But according to some of the gossip, and the dude who is pressing charges against him, Dwight wanted that deed deep inside of him." The gossip and allegations continue to follow him, making this one of the messiest ongoing stories in NBA history. Howard's conservative Christian upbringing and 5 children with different women add complexity to the rumors, but the allegations and his defensive responses keep the conversation alive. People can't stop talking about the contradictions between his public denials and what came out in court documents. Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks found himself in hot water when his ex-girlfriend allegedly spilled tea about his preferences. The rumors center around claims that Brooks was dating a transgender woman named Big Bambina, with photos of Big Bambina at Memphis Grizzlies games and with Brooks' dog fueling the conversation. Reddit went wild with the gossip, creating entire threads titled "Mississauga-born NBA player Dillon Brooks dating a transgender." Thoughts that had people going back and forth about what this means for his sexuality. The thing is, his ex-girlfriend Heather apparently claimed he was into transgender women, and when photos surfaced suggesting a connection with Big Bambina, the internet ran with it. The reporting notes, in the past, Dylan Brooks' ex-girlfriend Heather alleged that he was into transgender women. Now there is a proof that she was possibly telling truth, though Big Bambina's status and the nature of their relationship continues to be discussed. People are debating what dating a transgender woman means about someone's sexual orientation, and the rumors persist. Multiple articles continue to mention the story, suggesting it has staying power in the gossip mill. The conversation seems rooted in public fascination with his personal life and what his ex-girlfriend revealed about his preferences. The Reddit thread had 160 comments, indicating significant community interest in discussing these rumors. People are particularly interested because it challenges traditional assumptions about sexuality and what it means when professional athletes date outside conventional expectations. The story keeps circulating because it raises questions about the labels we put on people based on their romantic relationships. Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's situation is messy because of his contradictory behavior around LGBTQ+ issues. The man got fined $50,000 for using homophobic language in private messages that went public, yet he's also publicly supported LGBTQ+ causes.
So why are you single?
Because I don't want a girlfriend.
Just that, simply put.
His explanation for staying single has people reading between the lines.
I wouldn't say I had my heart broken. I started to understand women a little bit more as I got, early on I understood that, like, she's not mine. Even if she may be my girlfriend, she might be influenced by other people.
No.
The 2021 incident with Michael Rappaport was particularly damaging, with reports calling it the most graphic homophobic language I've ever heard from a pro athlete. Old Twitter posts also show Durant using gay slurs, including ones directed at Russell Westbrook, creating a pattern that contrasts with his public LGBTQ+ support. Social media discussions include wild claims like breaking, 15-time All-Star, Kevin Durant has come out as bisexual, though these appear to be rumors or hoaxes with no credible news sources backing them up. Forum discussions regularly include Durant in gay discussion threads, with users saying they get vibes from him. Some people think his past homophobic language might be overcompensation, while others point to his support for Jason Collins and participation in pride events as evidence he's genuinely supportive. The stems from this contradiction. Why would someone who publicly supports LGBTQ+ rights use such graphic homophobic language privately? Some interpret this as internal conflict, while others see it as simple hypocrisy. Either way, it keeps Durant's name in gay discussion conversations. People are fascinated by the disconnect between his public persona and his private messages, and his perpetual single status only adds fuel to the fire. Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade gets dragged into gay discussions primarily because of his support for his transgender daughter Zaya and his fashion choices. Wade has been extremely vocal about supporting Zaya's transition and even moved his family out of Florida due to anti-LGBTQ+ legislation.
It's important for me to support my daughter.
His dedication to learning about LGBTQ+ issues has been public.
In the middle of doing that, I've become an ally to a community that I didn't know a lot about, that I've had to get educated.
The talk gets nasty on social media. Twitter users make direct claims like Dwayne Wade is a closet bisexual, and that's why he's obsessed with his son's sexuality, while others connect his fashion choices to sexuality assumptions with posts saying, D Wade is slowly showing us who he is. First it was the funny clothes, then it was party girl Gabby Union, then his son came out as gay at 12 years old. People point to his nail painting habits since 2007 and childhood stories of wearing his sister's clothes as evidence. Wade revealed in 2007 that he began painting his nails as a fashion statement, and mentioned in a 2021 interview that he wore his sister's heels as a child. Forum discussions show how people connect unrelated things to sexuality. Some users associate his nail polish and support for Zaya with being gay, despite his marriages to Siobhan Funches and Gabrielle Union. People are particularly vocal about how his fashion choices and parenting decisions challenge traditional masculine norms. The conversation around Wade shows how supporting your LGBTQ+ child can lead to assumptions about your own sexuality. People are debating whether his level of advocacy goes beyond typical parental support, with some seeing it as personal investment rather than just being a good father. The discussion gets heated because it touches on stereotypes about masculinity, fashion, and what it means to be an ally versus being part of the community yourself. Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons gets caught up in gay rumors primarily because of his close friendships with male friends and some gossip items floating around. Forum discussions focus on his constant companionship with friends like Taj Malone and Alex Subers, with users questioning their activities and noting he seems happier with them than with the women he's dated. A Lipstick Alley thread from 2019 details users like Savannah998 finding it weird that Ben is constantly with Taj Malone and Alex Subers, questioning their activities. Another user, Chanel Girl, noted, "Well, I never seen seen him this happy and smiling this hard in any pics I've seen of him, or any of the celeb girls he dated, suggesting he and Kendall Jenner might be beards. There are also mentions of blind items suggesting involvement with transgender individuals, with some users claiming Ben is into transgenders, though this comes from anonymous gossip sources. Reddit discussions are more focused on his basketball performance, with less direct discussion about his sexuality, though some threads include jokes using homophobic language about his performance. The conversation around Simmons shows how close male friendships in professional sports get analyzed and interpreted. People are reading into his body language, his social media posts, and who he chooses to spend time with. The fact that he seems more comfortable and happy with his male friends than in his high-profile relationships with women like Kendall Jenner has people talking. What's particularly interesting is how the transgender rumors tie into the broader conversation about NBA players and alternative relationships. People are connecting dots between different players and similar allegations, creating a pattern that may or may not mean anything. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.